Uh, anyways,
On a random note, something like 13% of women are literally physically incapable of experiencing an orgasm. Just as a note.
those poor souls.
But it's true. 13% of women. Doesn't matter.
I wonder how many women who are physically capable of experiencing an orgasm still don't get it because their man isn't a man.
Eh, doesn't
I'm not
matter.
saying they're not, they don't have a penis or whatever, but I would say a man should be able to please his woman.
That's where women find other men.
There you
It's called cheating or polyamorous. Whatever. It doesn't really fucking matter.
go. And I'm
I'm
gonna leave
totally
it.
not spewing hate, as it were, because, got shafted. It's a literal fact. Something like 13% of women are completely incapable of experiencing orgasm. Just like apparently throughout time, 10% of the entire population are left-handed. And apparently that's something that they can track back, centuries. I don't understand how they can, but they can. So 10% of the Earth population from near the beginning of time are left-handed people, which is why they are the devil.
you know, I mean, to be fair, evolutionarily speaking, um, being able to experience an orgasm as a woman, strictly speaking, isn't required for reproduction.
Exactly.
So that's
And
one of
that's
the
just it
things is like
is.
the female orgasm is a bit of an evolutionary phenomenon.
No, it isn't.
It's not required. It is absolutely not
But that
required.
just is. It's not a phenomenon. It's literally just, you know what? Women are a female requiring an orgasm is completely irrelevant. All that
Exactly.
matters is a male can or achieve orgasm, hence reproduction. And actually, in the last couple of days, I was watching. It was a short clip of some chick going, you know, Genghis Khan, he respected his daughter. So if you're with somebody who doesn't respect women, then just remember Genghis Khan respected his daughters. You know how many women Genghis Khan and his generals raped under his authority? Millions. Actually, yeah, no, I don't think millions is an exaggeration because it's one of those things where when it comes down to it, like 1/5 of the Asiatic population, even non-Asiatic populations, quite possibly, have Genghis Khan's DNA today. So, but yeah, no, I honestly, as a random note, this is another random like middle zone. It was fuck, I just brain farted hard. Yeah, no, brain farted hard, but and that's just it. Is Genghis Khan? You could track his DNA to 1/5 of at least the Asiatic population, and he really respected his daughters.
He can respect his
Um,
daughter as a whole hell of a not without a whole hell of a
well,
lot.
acknowledged daughters. Well, according to the thing the feminist was responding to was the whole. I guess he would sort of marry off his daughters to some like low key, rulers, and then he would just sort of like disestablish that ruler, in which case it would go straight to the daughter. I don't know about that. Sounds like some random feminist bullshit to me. Maybe it's possible, maybe, or it's more than likely not. Now, don't get me wrong. It's one of those things in a lot of ways. It's like take that 300 movie. It takes true Spartan women to raise true Spartan men. You know what? I could actually run behind that. It's like, if you want powerful men to a certain extent, it takes powerful women, but not in the Western sense, powerful women. because it's the same thing with if you look at the Mongolians. That's one of the things they were talking about. The men were off doing things, so it took the women to teach the young boys. This is how you ride. This is how you shoot. Now, don't get me wrong. That's like elementary school shit. And then once it came time to like, okay, you're on, because that's one of those things. Like, you would have like 8 to 13-year-old boys leading herds, hunting and shit like that. So the mothers would teach, and then the young boys would have to apply that knowledge at a very young age. Not all solo, like it wasn't like they had an overviewer. They had to adapt or understand and adapt. And then and if the horde, whatever, I don't know the proper term, but if the clan that they were a part of grew large enough, and that's one of those things like when seriously look into the history of the Khans when they were going in, because they literally almost destroyed Europe. And during that time, they had like 13-year-old boys leading certain herds of like cattle and sheep or whatever. They leading the spare horses, making sure that they stayed behind the horde. Like, so they had responsibilities. Like, literally, you could be executed if you did this. Well, maybe not executed. I don't know. I don't know if they executed like 13-year-old boys, but you had legit responsibilities from the ages of 13. And at this point in time, especially in the West, sorry for the random, you really have like no legitimate responsibility until you're 18, which is voting. And voting has zero impact. Well, it has infinite and zero impact on the average citizen because most of the citizenry is shit. And this is one of those things where it's like, you know what? I am one of those people who you have to earn goddamn voting rights. Because how many people could actually right now name their congress person? How many people can name their governors and stuff like that? Yeah, no. Sorry. Listen to slash read Robert Heinlein's Starship Troopers. I am way too into that. Even though that motherfucker is a social democrat, and you know what? I am nowhere near that goddamn person politically, but I could still agree hardcore with some of the shit he was saying. Sorry for the random tangent. Um, thank you for joining.
Oh, okay. I can talk again. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for well, thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for listening through Buddha's rant.